Asiku Dede Asikoi. Hello everyone, it's Adirunke again. I hope your day is going well. Today I'd like to, as briefly as possible, discuss what you say when you're at a place. It could be a function, it could just be a simple gathering, it could be a festival. What you say when homage is being paid to perhaps specific deities or specific ancestors or ancestors in general. So when you hear Iba this or Iba that, Iba is homage, or even you could say reverence. If you were to, again, I'm not going to attempt to transliterate, and especially since English and Yoruba are two different languages. I feel like I mentioned it too many times on this channel. But since Yoruba and English are different languages, I can't promise always that I'm going to give like the exact because I have to communicate what it is in English. So at least I can give what is the closest in translation to that Yoruba word, what the closest English translation would be. So I'm thinking right now, and I'm thinking homage, reverence, these are words that you could translate Iba to. So, you know, when somebody is offering homage, they typically say Iba, whoever it is that they're paying homage to. So let's say Iba Eledumare, you know, Iba Egunle, Iba Orisha Oja, Iba Eshulalu, Iba you mentioned the name of your Iba Detunji, Iba whoever, you know, that most of the time these people were largely involved in whatever the function is, or even perhaps they carried out that function themselves, you know, especially if you're mentioning a couple of ancestors, and so you invite them to be present. You know, they know what it was like in the past, and they can definitely help lead the discussions or whatever is done in the right direction. You know, there are different reasons why you would pay homage, you know, and the concept of homage paying is not exclusive to even our own culture. I think I'm not going to try to explain why you should pay homage or anything like that. I think the fact that the very fact that the word homage exists in English, you know, will tell you that at the end of the day it's not exclusive to our own culture. You know, it's pretty general that you pay homage. So anyway, I'm going to move past trying to explain why should you pay homage. So like I've said, whoever is leading the Thanksgiving, or whoever is leading the, it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving, you know, it's not necessary that well, typically it's also a form of Thanksgiving in the sense that these ancestors came before and they provided the tradition that is now being carried out, or they contributed to the people that are now involved. So it's also a kind of Thanksgiving. So they would say Iba, whatever. Anyway, this is what you say to accompany that. You say Ibaashe. You can say Ibaashe. You can say Ashe. You can say Ashe. You can say, I've also heard Ashe. I've also heard Ashe. These aren't the only three things that you can say when somebody's paying homage. You know, there are a couple of, I suppose there could be something else, but these three are the most, I've not done any census or any research, but yeah, they're pretty common. Ibaashe, what does that mean? Ashe is it will be, she is to happen, so it will happen. Ashe or Ibaashe the homage will happen, you know, which you could then translate. That would be like a transliteration. Share is to happen, is to take place, to occur, to be established. So the homage will be established. The honor, the reverence will be established. What that tells you is that you've paid homage to an ancestor, or that you've reverenced a deity. Is not it's not automatic that, oh yes, because I've paid homage to you, you have to answer me, or because I've asked for something, you have to say yes. It's a pretty interesting concept, even to explain. I don't know why I can't face the camera. I always look around on my. I hope you don't mind. I guess because I didn't prepare anything today, I'm thinking because I don't want to miss anything. So that you knock a door is not, especially if the door is closed, you know, that you knock a door is not, it's not automatic that it has to be open for you. That you say sorry to a person after stepping on them, let's say, I'm just giving examples, is not, it does not mean that they have to accept your apology. You know, that you that you say thank you does not necessarily mean that you're welcome. You know, you might not be welcome. The person might not appreciate your thank you. They might think it's fake. Basically, that you do something is not proof that, oh, the ancestors are pleased with it, or they are pleased with me, and now I've done it, you know. You do have Ashe, yes, but even the Ashe has, it's like there's an hierarchy to things. There's an hierarchy to, even in Ifa spirituality, there's an hierarchy to things, to even among people and to things in general. The order of how things get answered, you know, there's an established order. So when the people around, whoever is offering the homage or respect, say Ibaashe, they are saying it will be established, which you can then infer to mean, oh, they will accept it. They will accept the homage. It will be fine with them. It will be accepted. I will provide the words, you know, how you write that, so don't worry. Ibaashe or Ashe, it will be answered. It will be considered. It will be, most importantly, will be accepted. You know, Ibaashe. The homage will happen. You're offering the homage, yes. Iba ya baba mi bolale. You know, anyone that is close by, that is hearing me pay homage to my father's mother, my father's late mother, my grandmother, would say Ibaashe or Ashe, which means it will be accepted. She will accept it. You know, it will be established. I said Iba. I'm offering the homage, but it's not automatic that the homage is accepted. You know, so they will say it will be answered. She will accept it. You do that. You say that to accompany whoever is giving the homage. Even after giving offerings and all that, you find babalawos still. It could be with the obi, it could be with cowries, it could even be like on the okmonfa itself. You see them ask, you know, has this been accepted? Was this accepted? Are the ancestors or deities pleased with how we've done this, how we've offered this? Are they pleased with what we brought? You know, and then you might get a yes, or you might get a no. If you've done it well and I guess it works with the universal order of things, you are very likely to get a yes. If it's a no, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. You typically just, I guess, rearrange certain things and restate certain things and ask again. And if it's still a no, you know, depending on your request or what you're trying to do, you might just let it go, you know. You might just have to let it go, especially when you're doing, like, it could be let's say something related to love, you know, you're trying to bring people back together again, or you're trying to do all that stuff. If you're paying homage to whoever, or you're making an offering for whatever, if it's a no, yeah, it's best to drop it. It's best to drop it. So, you know, even after doing all that, even after paying homage, you still find priests asking, well, was this accepted? Will this be accepted? Is this pleasing? So that you've paid homage, or that you've done something, or it's like, again, I think all of this still borders around respect. You know, respect. That you've paid somebody respect is not, you know, automatic license to having it answered, you know, or having your respect considered. You know, you kind of have to still ask. Even for one's earthly father and mother, you know, I'm going to use this analogy. You might make the sweetest smelling soup or just meal, and you place it on the table. You put the juice and all that, and you lay it out. It's still not automatic that they have to eat it. You don't shove it down their throats. You don't say, oh, have this meal. You don't say, oh, I've placed it down on the table. Even if you don't shove it down, but I've placed it down on the table. So what we're going to do is you're going to eat it. You know, you don't do that even with your own earthly parents. So I suppose when you understand that, the idea of saying, well, it will be established, it will be answered, will be easier to understand. You know, Ibaashe, the homage will be accepted, the homage will be considered and accepted. Ibaashe. Iba is homage, is reverence, it's honor, it's utmost respect. Iba. A is will. She is to occur, to happen, to be. Perhaps even more importantly, in many respects, to be established. So Ibaashe is homage will be established, which you could then translate to mean homage will be received or accepted. The homage will be received and accepted, or accepted. Either of the two. I suppose received would also be the same as accepted. If you don't want to say Ibaashe, you want to use a pronoun instead, you would say Ashe. Ashe. A is it. A is will. They are the same words that mean different things. So I suppose that would be an interesting homonym to address. It's an interesting dialectical homonym. Ashe. A it, a will. She is occur, happen, be established, you know, whatever. It will be established is what it is when you transliterate. And when you translate, it will be, you know, it will be received or accepted. If you don't want to say Ashe, you can say Omaashe, or at least you might hear that, Omaashe, and it's the same thing. O is it, Ma is will, She is occur, happen, be established. You know, these are just different ways of saying the exact same thing. It will be established, it will be received and accepted. If you don't hear any of the three, you could hear Ashe, but Ashe is often used, well, most often used when an iwure is offered. A positive wish is made. You could say a prayer is pronounced. So Ashe is, that's a command. Nothing will change that. That will come to be. I made an entire video explaining Ashe and how that connects to the Yuri, and I, to some degree, went into details. So if you've not seen that video, you can. Ashe, that's a command. That's a decree. Commanded. Nothing about that will change. You might hear that as well, but I don't really hear it that much for like Ijuba. I don't hear it that much. It is when they're offering the wishes and prayers and they're saying, Adafu wow, Ashe, Aribatishe, Ashe, Arona Gbegba, Ashe, Ni jade leku lowo, Ashe, Ni jade larun lowo, Ashe. That's when you hear Ashe. So it's typically Ibaashe, Ashe, Umashe, or you might hear different things. Again, you might even hear Awishe, you might hear Awishe for boom. Awishe is to say, so we, as you said it, it will happen, it will be established. Iba Baba, Awishe, you might hear that as well. Like, as you've offered the homage, as you said the homage, it will be established. They will accept it. Again, these aren't the only ones. Like, you'll be quite surprised. Afogbon, again, as you said it, your tone, your voice, your vibration, the vibration of your words will reach them. It will be received. Afogbon, so don't be surprised if you hear something else at all. Don't be surprised. But if you say Ibaashe, when someone is saying Iba this, Iba that, that's a perfect response or perfect way to accompany them, to engage in the homage paying. If you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be delighted to answer. And thank you for your support. Please continue to support me, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.
Adele,